It depends how you look at it. Yep. Same here.
How's things in southern Canada?
Oh Christ! Exactly what you think. It's May, Mark. It's May, and the high today was 46 and raining.
The fuck?
Yeah, yeah. I like. So next month is June, right?
Mhm.
And and June is like that summertime, and I don't know if we're gonna break 60. I have it is concerning to me, which pisses me off. I can't remember the last time it was warm here. It was a while back.
Yeah,
God,
because I mean,
a few years ago, I think it was warm.
June, you're used to sweating your balls off, and now you're just
Yeah, in Tennessee, and now it's like, oh no, the high is like 60. No, that's nonsense. So anyway, I'm just surviving. I have to sell the house. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on selling the house.
that sounds
It's
miserable.
well, yeah. I'm having to. So this house was built in 1780. It's an old house, and I had to strip drywall from. Excuse me, the wallpaper from 2 rooms that was put up in probably the 70s, and then it's horsehair plaster. I don't know if you know what that is. It's
I have
it's
no fucking clue what that
right. So
is.
it's like drywall, but it's like mixed with horsehair to give it rigidity and strength. And I have to sand all of that down, and then fill in all the holes and cracks with like spackle, and then sand that down, and then prime it, and then paint. It's a pain in the ass.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Well, since the missus is gone, we got to sell the house now, so that's what I'm working on. Yeah.
Horsehair plaster. Who knew
Yeah.
such a thing
I didn't know
existed?
it existed. I thought it was concrete because when you feel it, it has the texture of like kind of rough concrete. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it turns out it's just they call horsehair plaster, made with real horses. I don't know. Whatever.
Right
In any
before they
case,
went to the glue factory.
yeah, yeah. I got a couple things I want to grind through tonight, so I'm ready to start when you are.
All right, it is the cigar. God damn it! Pardon me for a moment.
Old man.
Well, we made it 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the Cigar Tipsters podcast. It is May the 3rd. I am Junior, coming to you from Nashville, and Ben is on the other line, coming to you from God knows where.
That's right. God knows where.
He said it's fucking 40 in May.
Mm-hmm.
That's not normal.
No.
So, yeah, you should probably consider at least, I don't know, Ohio, Kentucky, something. Where's the Mason-Dixon line?
Yeah. Well, for me, let's just say 6 hours south is New York.
Okay, so you need to find
That's goddamn
wherever
ridiculous.
you need to find wherever the Mason-Dixon line is. Put yourself on the other side of it. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's
wherever it is, Trump's going to
south.
build a wall there. So that's.
Oh damn it!
I know. I know.
See, that's the thing, though. You got to get back before he builds the wall.
I know.
Then there will be a wall, and
then I'll be the immigrant, and I won't be a citizen anymore.
It would be an absolute bitch to actually have to climb over the wall.
Yeah.
No, they'll probably
I'm not.
put like barbed wire and sticky stuff on it. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. What do they build walls out of today besides horsehair?
He's going to build it out of taxes. Like tax returns will just stack up, and then that'll be the wall.
The country's still fucked.
Yeah. Yep. It's not good. It's not good.
Anyway,
but I'm making the best of it.
All right, so yeah, I was sitting around smoking the other day, and I was digging through the humidor just to see what the hell I had, and came across a few things that I hadn't had in a while. Rocky Patel Edge, Habano.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It really, really is, and for some reason I don't smoke it what I would deem enough.
It's not expensive either. I mean, they're pretty good. What,
really
$6-7, I think?
Yeah, for the most part, you can find them in store. You can find them on Cigar Bid for nothing, but even if you find them in the store, they're like $6.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
And let's see, what else did I find in there the other day? A Gurkha. Not kidding. Not really.
Oh, you really found one?
No. I did find an acid, of all things. An acid Cuba Cuba.
Really?
And I'll confess, I don't know where it came from. The wrapper is very, very brown.
Okay.
The cellophane wrapper. So it's got some age on it.
It's got some age.
If there is a acid Kuba Kuba person listening who would like to have that, just send me your address and I'll happily mail it to you.
I will just get rid of it to you. But we're gonna talk. We need to talk about that towards the end of the show because I think that's a topic of kind of debate. So there's two sides to that story, to that coin, and I think we need to circle back to that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And let's see, what other gem did I find in there? I had some. Oh God, the one that and I love this cigar, and it's another one I don't smoke enough. The San Cristobal Revelation.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, I remember you actually put a review on that on cigartipsters.com on that one. I think it was either you or your dad that did the review because I just copied it over. But it got really good. You seem to really like that.
That one is terrific.
Yeah.
And speaking of cigartipsters.com, if you type that into your web browser right now, you'll find nothing. We are working on, Benjamin is working on a remodel of the website, so coming soon, we'll just say that. But we are getting a little more active on Instagram while the website happens to be under construction, as they say.
Does it say under construction? Because when I pull it up, it shows like the old website, the original. Does yours say under construction, or is that just?
That's a good question. We touch the button and see.
Kind of curious because when I go to it, it seems to show like the original website. But I am working on. There's a different logo, different images. I'm trying to read. It's still there.
So yeah.
Okay, good. So you can still see some of the old stuff.
Yeah, the old school brown, poop brown thing that we had going on there.
Don't worry about that. All the blogs and all the posts are still there. But the new website, it's going to be bright and colorful and more interactive. I think you guys will enjoy it. Just give it a little time, and when it's released, you'll go, it's not poop brown anymore.
Yeah, we showed it to your mom, and she liked it. So.
Wow, wow.
And she never likes anything. So.
My mother's a saint. Oh man. Any other gems you found while we're on the topic? Anything else? Any Davidoffs? I know Scurios seem to be classics. Anything like that?
I am sad to say I am flat out of Davidoffs. The Escurio or the Nicaragua, either one. I'm going to have to eventually break down and
steal some from your father.
That too. I don't need to unchain my wallet, so because I'm poor.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, senior, if you happen to hear this, you need to buy some Davidoff, and you need to have them shipped to my house.
And don't ask any questions; just do it.
You'll get at least 2/3 of them. It'll be okay.
Yeah, send them the acid as a payment.
Hey,
yeah, you see, it's a trade.
That would be the worst deal in cigar history.
No, giving him the Gurkha would be the worst deal. But wait, you don't have one. That's right. You didn't have one.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, the acid
would
have
be
to
go buy a Gurkha, which
you're not going to do that.
I can't. In all self-respect, I can't do that to myself.
Now, also, I sent that link to you, I guess last week about, and we're going to discuss this a little later, but like the pretentiousness of Gurkha. Like they're great with marketing, but they are pretentious and self-entitled as hell. And there's that link that I sent, and if any viewers are out there, we'll post it on the website. But it shows like Gurkha having this private blending room, and it's what was it, like $1,000 a stick or something like that, something outrageous,
completely ridiculous. They have
insane, and it just shows these rich white fuckers just puffing away and being all like snooty about it, noses in the air, like completely stereotypical bourgeois. And it's shit like that makes me not like Gurkha. I really don't even care how good the cigar is. I don't care what it's blended with. It's that attitude I don't like. It's not humble at all. So that's a turnoff.
They have the pretentiousness that you would expect Davidoff to have, even though, I mean, Davidoff has it to a point, but they're not as in your face about it as Gurkha is.
But the Davidoffs I've had, and I've not had all of them, but all the Davidoffs that I've had have been fantastic. Like they smoke really well, and it's not really, I don't want to say it's luxury, and there's a difference between luxury and pretentious. One is just appealing to a high rolling customer, and the other is it's like self righteousness. You know, I don't see Davidoff as being self righteous. Like we are the best, and only rich people smoke our shit, because that's not true. But because Davidoff also advertises like ST DuPont, and those are $500,000 lighters, so it's a luxury market. But I don't see Davidoff getting on the website and saying, "Hey, anybody can smoke a Gurkha, but it only takes a real man to smoke a Davidoff." They don't. But Gurkha said that about Davidoff. Anybody can smoke a Davidoff, but only rich people can smoke Gurkha, or something to that effect. I'm like, go fuck yourself. You're not nearly as good as you think you are, and just because you put some aged cognac in there, you think you're top dog. No, that's not correct.
To steal an American Dad joke, Gurkha is almost as bad as Rachel Ray.
Yeah, just about. Big mouth, little knowledge. But I do want to tell you about a cigar that I tried earlier this afternoon that is better than Gurkha and way less expensive. Much better bargain. So it's been advertised on websites and stuff about this new cigar called the Punch Egg Roll Limited. It's made by Punch, and by General Cigar, really. It's got that little like Chinese symbol. It's themed around like a Chinese to-go box. I don't know why some brands just decided to do this theme. Like Caldwell had that thing that was like sticks of butter. They just do that once in a while. So it's a Punch Egg Roll Limited, and it's even boxed in a like Chinese takeout carton. It comes in a box of 25. But I was impressed with this cigar, and I'll tell you why. So a little bit of a background of it. It's a 4.5 by 50 stick. Okay. Its makeup has a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, an Ecuadorian Sumatran binder, and then filler from 4 places: the U.S., Dominican Republic, Mexico, and Colombia. So it's a multinational blend, and I like multinational blends because I think you add more layers of complexity and flavors. So if I posted some pictures on Instagram and on my Twitter account, Mr. Wiseash, but you can see it has about an inch at the foot is a shaggy foot. But it's not a shaggy foot. Like what's that one brand? Jungle Gyms, I think is what it's called.
Island Gym.
Island Gym, thank you. Where it's like a loose foot. It's not. It's just basically an inch at the bottom where the wrapper isn't wrapped around. So it's like normal shape. You just see this indentation where the wrapper isn't on there. So you light the quote shaggy foot, and so basically you're just getting the binder and filler at this point, a wrapper, and it burns really well. It gets the amber going really quickly, and then you're smoking. Now that first inch of just the quote shaggy foot is dry. It's like dry hay and leather and like wood, like a wood flavor to it. Not the most complex, but it did burn well, and the draw was very good. So it has a slight pull to it, just a little bit, and I like that. I like smoking cigars that have just a slight tug to it because it lets me feel where the ember is, and I can feel I can control more of the smoke output and draw. So you smoke that first inch, and then it gets to the
slight tug too.
Okay, well that was a lot of innuendo that you just went to right there. That
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, just anyway. So you're smoking it, and then you get to where it hits the wrapper, and the flavors change completely. It's almost like smoking a different cigar. That Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, it added complexity, sweetness, and it made the smoke fuller and flavors more pronounced. It even creates a decent amount of smoke at the foot, but you get just tiny hints of pepper, I guess a white pepper. You can retrohale it, and it doesn't really burn your olfactories. So it's any cigar that I can retrohale without having to chug water or cough up a lung, to me tells me that it's been properly aged, because if there's too much pepper in it and you try to retrohale it, just burns like hell and you can't really taste anything. So at this point, I'm only about an inch down the cigar, And I'm starting to pay attention to it now. At this point, and you can see pictures of it, the burn was razor sharp. I don't mean like it kind of walked its way down and kept, I mean, it was straight all the way through from beginning all the way down to the nub to where I couldn't really hold it in my hands anymore. It was perfectly even. The ash held perfectly. There was no splitting, no canoeing, no tunneling, no wonkiness about it, nothing. And the ash was pure, almost pure white. You can see the shaggy foot, which is a darker ash, and then when it gets to the wrapper, from that point all the way down, it was like it was a flawless draw. I was impressed. It doesn't have the flavors weren't exactly a lot of creaminess, so it was a medium smoke. I wouldn't necessarily, for my humidor, put it in as a morning smoke, but you can. To me, it's like a after lunch or postprandial smoke. And the best part, and this is my favorite, out the door after tax was $5, and I got a solid hour of smoking out of it. It blew me away because I'm not a huge fan of themed cigars, because they try to do something fancy and it almost doesn't work right. But for $5, to me it's the best bargain I've found this year. And I'm actually finding the less expensive the cigar sometimes has a better performance than like some 8, 10, even $12 sticks that I've tried. I don't know why that is. You would think if it burns this well and tastes this good, it should be. I mean, they could easily sell the cigar at like $7 or $8 or $9 a piece, easily. But it was like $4.50 and then tax. So out the door was like $5, and it comes in a box of 25. It's the bargain of the year so far. If you can find this in your local shop or online, get it in your humidor. Let it age for a couple of months, and I think it'll be an outstanding smoke. So, just my take. Oh, and one last thing, and this I thought was cute. So the whole theme of the cigar is, egg roll, Asian food, and all this stuff. If you take the band and you open it up, they put a fortune cookie saying on there, like it's unwrapping a fortune cookie.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I saw the
You saw the picture, right?
of
And it says,
it.
hard work will pay off in the future. Laziness will pay off now. It's a stereotypical fortune cookie saying, and the cigar band isn't really on that. You can just basically pull it right off. It doesn't. You don't have to like rip it off the wrapper and everything. It just comes off. And I looked at that like that's interesting. And so I think they put that much attention to detail, and I think it shows throughout the entire smoking experience. So order online or go to your shop and get it.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to see if I can find that down here. I've seen it advertised, of course, just because of the gimmicky aspect of it. But it sounds like it's a winner.
Gimmicks aside, forget that it's called a punch egg roll. I mean, they did that shaggy foot because it's supposed to represent like the cabbage coming out of an egg roll. Like the vegetables. That's kind of why they did that. But forget the theme. Just get the cigar. It's worth it.
And while we're talking about decent buys on cigars,
Yep.
Cigar Aficionado threw out an article not long ago of they called it 7 fine cigars for $7 or less. And I'll leave it to you guys to go out there and peruse the entire list, but a few of them popped out at me because they are cigars that I have smoked in the past and am a fan of. The first of those being the Alec Bradley Black Market Punk. Short smoke, but $6. And it has Panama tobacco in the filler, so that's something you don't necessarily see every day. So that one's good.
Panama. That's interesting.
They threw the Arturo Fuente Petite Corona on there. For the most part, you can't beat Fuente stuff. This one comes in at just shy of $5. This is mostly Dominican and a Cameroon wrapper.
Ooh, I like that.
The other one, which was the other one? Oh, this was one in my early days of smoking that I used to go through like candy. The 724 Dog Walker.
I have yet to try it, but I have read so many good things about it. I want to try that.
I used to switch between it and they have a barber pole too, and for some reason the name of the barber pole escapes me at the moment. But the Dog Walker, you can get them as singles or 5-packs, either one. But mostly Nicaraguan, and then I think the filler has three different countries: Colombia, Nicaragua, and I want to say Costa Rica.
Okay.
I'm pulling that from memory, but it is a nice little combination for sure.
How much does
Uh,
that cigar go for? The one you just mentioned.
that one is Cigar Aficionado, and this is I haven't bought one in a while, but Cigar Aficionado had it set at 650. I don't remember them being quite that much when I was smoking them, but they got popular, so the price might have went up a little bit.
Still worth it. At least worth trying.
Inflation,
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. And they threw in an Oliva. I haven't had this one, the Connecticut Reserve Petite Corona. But the Oliva brand name alone for $5.30 would be enough for me to give it a shot.
It's almost impossible to go wrong with Oliva. I'll tell you another Oliva, and I'm surprised they didn't put on the list. So the Series G box pressed Cameroon, I've had those a few times, and fantastic flavors for I want to say about $6. So it's hard to go wrong with Oliva.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's and the thing with this list, when you start looking at the list, when you really sit down and you think about it, cigars under $7, you could go on for days. There's good ones, there's bad ones. There's Padron 2000 series,
Yeah.
Oliva's Inferno, CAO La Traviata. God,
I think there's a
those
Room
just pop
101
into my
brand
head.
that's less than 6 or 7,
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh God, Room 101, big.
Is it Payback?
Yes, Big Payback.
Payback. That's what it's called.
Yep, that one is absolutely terrific for the price, and quite frankly, one of the best things that he ever pulled out of Room 101. Not saying that any of the other stuff was bad, but just the price meets flavor ratio was just like, shit, I got to get more of these.
That value is incredible. And it's weird because some of these less than $7 or $6, $7 sticks, you smoke cigars that are twice as expensive, and for some bizarre reason, don't necessarily perform or taste as well as. It's almost like the less expensive the price, the better the performance. It doesn't not supposed to make sense, and I'm not saying that's all the time, but sometimes you run into that, and I I don't know why. It's like, why can't you just? I mean, they could easily charge more for these, and I'd still pay for it. But the fact that they're such a good bargain, it's difficult to pass it up.
Yeah, literally any of the ones that we've mentioned in the last 5 minutes could be $8 or $10 cigars, but they're selling them for 5 or 6, which there's definitely that market for bargain price cigars. I love that market just
We're
because.
gonna have to enjoy it while we can. Those
Yeah,
prices are
for real.
probably going to go up.
Yeah, thank you, FDA.
Fuck you, Scott.
That son of a bitch.
Stupid bastard. Anyway, what else is on the list? A couple more, I think.
I don't know. I don't know. You got me,
Sorry,
motherfucking
we're
Scott.
gonna circle back around to that. That's in my segment. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
We'll start calling him he who shall not be named.
Voldemort. Oh wait, not be named. Sorry.
There's speaking of that, there's a movie I watched 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I can't remember the fucking name of it.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Definitely
Alien.
not.
Was it
No.
Dude, Where's My Car?
No, very very obscure movie that I just happened to find on Netflix.
Okay.
But it was this B-rated horror movie, and it's like this dude is, for the purposes of getting this story out sometime in the next hour, I'll just call him Jimmy John.
Okay.
But he's this freaky thing that only comes around when one of two things happen. You say his name, or the thing that makes him more fucked up, if you think his name. So,
Is this that movie where it's like they write his name was written on the bottom of a drawer or something, and
yes.
then that's
Yep.
okay. Yeah, it's written under there, and you can't you don't look at it, don't read it, anything like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
and
a
they
shit
keep
movie.
writing, don't think it, don't say it. Like
Yes, that's the movie.
Thousands of times. Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. See, I knew we'd get there eventually.
That's actually the name of the movie. Don't think it, don't say it. It's horrible, but yeah, go ahead.
Don't think it, don't say it. So, Scott, oh shit, I said it.
There you go.
Damn it.
Fucker.
Anyway, back to the list of $7 or less.
Yes.
And one or two of these, and we're about to find out, have names that I'm probably going to butcher, but the Romeo and Julieta 1875 Nicaragua Bully. I can't say if I've heard of that one, but they had that one priced at $6.80, rolled at Plasencia in Nicaragua. And they say that one's kind of on the bold side, so if you go out there and try that one, just keep that in mind. They also threw in the Macanudo Cafe Petite Corona, another one that I quite frankly haven't had.
Yeah, but that Macanudo Cafe is one of the most popular cigars out there.
And the other one they mentioned was the Fonseca Nicaragua Petite Corona, $5.30. Debuted in 2016 and was the mainstay of the Fonseca brand, at least for a time being. So that was their complete list. And again, like we said earlier, you could go on for days and days, but I just thought it was an interesting enough list to take a look at. But now that we've talked bargains and also talked about price possibly going up, what, pray tell, is grinding your gears?
Okay. I have put some thought into this. I'm just going to let you and the audience know it's a little long, but it's because there's multiple facets to what's going on. You're going to have to pay attention a little bit because I'm playing both sides of an argument. And then I'll just get right to it. So if you want to know what really grinds my gears, I'll tell you. It's apathy, obfuscation, and circumvention. Now, the next words out of your mouth is, what the hell are you talking about? So, these words.
Ben,
yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
There it is. Okay, so allow me to explain. So I use these words carefully because it's both to stretch your vocabulary and as well as your mouth. So let's go back. Let's go way back to when all of this FDA shit started. It was back in May of 2016. And our precious federal government department, known as the FDA, decided for some reason, came out in full force and said all tobacco is the same, it's all horrible, and tobacco is the leading cause of socioeconomic destruction and the degradation of the health of all people born after 2001, or something to that effect. Anyway, since the FDA ruled on option one for complete regulation of all tobacco and tobacco products, the first lawsuit set against this injustice was incurred by Enrique Sanchez of 1502 Cigars, also known as Global Premium Cigars. Now, he is a minor boutique brand compared to your more well-established Fuentes, Olivas, Padrones, and Rocky Patels. There's nothing against those larger brands per se, but it was kind of interesting to see that at the forefront of fighting against the FDA was this little David facing a massive Goliath with just a little stone, parabolically speaking, of course. So over the past few years, many larger brand spokespeople have decided to come forth and begin vocalizing their take on this matter against the FDA's overreaching and overregulation. And many arguments and points have been brought to light, even by a senator from Florida we all know as Senator Marco Rubio. And even he has expressed his contention with the FDA's overreaching powers. Now, over the years, I have been listening and watching how our leaders in the cigar industry, our representatives, have represented the interests of us, the everyday blue-collar brothers and sisters of the leaf. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of baffled how illogical and apathetic some of these most experienced and professionally involved people have argued against the FDA, even on public television, about the true ramifications of federal overreach. Now, I've written a blog specifically on this topic, but I'm going to rant for a minute because, well, this is our show and I have the mic. So, Mark, please feel free, after I'm through with this, after this rant, to share your thoughts and to counter my argument how you see fit. Okay? I'm either going to be right or wrong. So, I'm going to start by playing the devil's advocate and provide a basic scenario. So imagine with me, if you will, a mother of, let's say, two children, two teenage boys, okay? And both these children are playing in a baseball game. Well, let's say high school, okay? Now, it's, of course, naturally, it's a spring day, and, you want to light a cigar. It's just, it's a nice day, and you're at a baseball game. It's something that we used to do in the past. Now, we both know you can't do that today, but we're going to pretend that way. Let's play it out anyway. So you try lighting a cigar, and some adult for hire walks over and tells you that the mothers and other parents request that you put your cigar out because it's affecting the kid's health, it's against school rules, and they're going to ask you to leave. Now, I know I said mothers, and I'm not trying to be sexist saying moms don't like cigars. Some mothers do. But for stereotypical and historical sake, it's usually the dad who smokes cigars at sports games, okay? Anyway, this is a typical scenario that the FDA uses to justify their, we'll call it bullshit, because that's what it is. We know that it's not affecting that kid's health. The FDA knows it's not affecting that kid's health, but it's a nuisance, and at best, the FDA has to justify their paychecks somehow. So, now that we have this setup in our mind, let's turn our minds to our aforementioned representatives, right? The Rocky Patels, the J.C. Newmans, so forth and so on. The FDA and the, quote, parenthetical parents come in full force with the argument of all tobacco is the same. Children are puffing vape and cigarettes, cigars, and hookah, and we have to protect them. And the FDA now has the support of the rallying cries of parents everywhere. So now they have their pitchforks and their torches, and they're making a stance. So now we get a chance to respond. We can say whatever we want, and we get our chance in the say. So how do we respond to this? How do we reply? Well, you're going to hear in a minute when a clip is played, but we have such strong opinions and fortified retorts, such as, our cigars are made with 300 or so sets of hands. It's a luxury product marketed to adults, like a bottle of scotch or a fine bottle of wine. And with the FDA's regulations, there will be standardized health warning labels that cover 30% of our cigar dress boxes and even our cigar websites, which display our heritage. Blah, blah, blah. Now, you think I'm kidding. I want you to listen to this clip, okay? That was recorded from Rocky Patel on his interview, Fox News with Carl Tuckerson. You may have already seen this, but I want you to listen to it again. I'm not making this up. I want you to see how we respond. So, Mark, I want you to go ahead and play that clip.
Okay, and it's
I don't know how long this we wait. Do I have to wait the whole time? Or do you just insert? Okay.
No. You called him Tucker Tall. What did you just call him?
Is it Tucker Carlson?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Okay, edit that out. It's Tucker. Fucker Carlson's what it is.
No, I'm
Tucker.
leaving that in.
Okay.
It's funnier.
No, I lost credibility now.
But anyway, no.
Carl Tucker. I'm sorry.
Give me about 10 seconds of silence.
Okay.
Okay.
God damn
That'll just make it easy to find.
Okay. All right.
There'll be a silent spot.
Cool.
Proceed.
So now that you've heard this, it really is that bad, this response. So let me explain. I have been in sales for over a decade, and one of the most basic rules of overcoming objections is to discover the why, not the what. So, yes, the FDA regulations will cause these discomforts of labels on boxes covering up Spanish heritage and whatnot, but that is nothing compared to the strength of the FDA's argument. The FDA has the support of our nation's parenthetical protective mothers. And the best argument that we, as a cigar people, should remain in business and support tens of thousands of jobs and international trade is how our marketing materials will be askew. Really? Do you think that's enough to regain the support of the quote unquote moms at sports games to allow us the right to smoke a premium hand-rolled cigar? Of course not.
Hang on. I lost you for a second. I lost you at marketing materials.
Okay.
Kind of roll that back and run it again.
Okay. And the best argument that we should remain in business and support tens of thousands of jobs and international trade is how our marketing materials will be affected? Really? Do you think that's enough to regain the support of parenthetical moms at sports games and allow us the right to smoke a premium hand-rolled cigar? Of course not. Look, there's a logical counter-argument to the FDA that's very simple and very effective. Let's play this argument. The mom says, or FDA, interchangeable, your cigar smoke is highly addictive and is a health risk to my children. Okay, fair point. It's bullshit, but it's what she's been trained to believe from the news. So, like I said before, not the what, but the why. So, we should ask her, how do you know that? She says it's addictive and harmful to the children. I'd like to hear her side of the story and where she gets this information. And she replies, because the FDA and the doctors say so. Okay? Fair point. Since that's her only source of political information. And now we can reply. We can get down to the nitty-gritty. Oh, really? Well, what if I told you that the very same organization that says cigars will give your child tularemia or lung cancer from secondhand smoke has done its own studies with its own funding and determined that is not the case? What if I told you that the FDA staff report shows that smoking up to 2 cigars a day is associated with minimal significant health risks? Moreover, that same study analyzed the tobacco use of 13,651 children ranging from ages 12 to 17 years, and the data shows that only 2.3% have ever smoked a traditional cigar, which is less than 1% have tried one within the past 30 days of being surveyed. It examined the tobacco products of all types, including cigarettes, e-cigarettes, cigars, and cigarillos, and the study labeled traditional cigars, the category that includes handmade premium cigars. So, your child is fine, and so is the dad who lights one up. But yes, it does cause an odor around other patrons. That is true. I can't deny that. But do you see what I did there? I asked her or FDA to prove their side. And I told her she has been ill-informed, and if they're going to stampede on my rights, she's going to need more sound logic without so many holes in it. I believe that our apathy, our lack of addressing the real issue and putting the FDA in its place and stop messing around with minutiae and idle arguments and giving the FDA more ammunition to put us out of business. It's bullshit, it's illogical, and quite frankly, if the greatest minds of our premium tobacco industry can't understand this, then we really are a doomed institution. And that is what really grinds my gears. Mark?
Very true. Very true. It really, through the whole process, it's kind of amazed me the lack of response from, I was going to say big tobacco, but that's the wrong wording. We'll say big cigar.
Sure.
Your General Cigars, your Shutter Gurkha, Rocky Patel is your Alec Bradley's, right. All these people, some of them, quite frankly, haven't said a damn word about it.
And I find that, to me, that's what's got my mind so up in a tizzy, is that they're coming at us, like I was saying before, with pitchforks and torches and a big crowd saying, you are destroying America and the kids and everybody's, going to get lung cancer instantaneously from this. And then that same group of people did their own study with their own people and their own money and disproved themselves. And the first thing we talk about is how our humidors will look different and we can't display our heritage. And what the hell does that have to do with convincing moms and dads protecting their children's health? if you're a mom at the
Yeah.
baseball game and you smoke a cigar and she says, that's bad, that's hurting my child, she doesn't care. The FDA doesn't care that the premium cigar industry gets disappeared along with all the other tobacco, because in their minds, it's the same. Now, I have heard Rocky Patel and others say that, let me see how I can explain this. They do say that it's not marketed to children. Okay. But he spent the majority of his argument explaining that is one small piece of the puzzle. That doesn't convince parents at baseball games or whatever sport event that it's okay to let people smoke premium cigars. It doesn't justify that at all. It has nothing to do with that. Just saying it's an inconvenience, they don't give a damn. They could care less, because as far as they're concerned, if the whole premium tobacco industry were to go out of business, since they don't smoke them or enjoy them, and they have been told that it kills kids, they don't care if we go out of industry. They couldn't care less. And I don't understand why, if the FDA has disproven itself, why don't we just keep saying that? I don't know why we don't bring that up. And there's another interview I put on my blog of this town hall hearing, which actually had Senator Marco Rubio, and then I think it was like the fourth generation J.C. Newman owner of the factory, because it's in Florida, and that's where Senator Marco Rubio was trying to defend. But these statistics that I gave, as far as analyzing the tobacco use of 14,000 kids ranging less than 18 years old, they don't smoke cigars. We know they don't smoke cigars, and they have just proven that it has a nil effect on. They have proven that it has a nil effect, significant effect on the human health. And we talk about marketing materials and websites, and and then it doesn't address the problem. It just provides an inconvenience, and I just feel apathetic from my side. I don't feel like we're getting the same strength of representation that the FDA has from the support of parents. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like we're lying down and allowing the FDA to run over us and saying, well, this is just the way it is. We're not using logic. We're complaining. We're bitching about it, but we're not using logic to counter it. And that's what bothers me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've got, you use the analogy of they're coming at us with torches and pitchforks, and we're sneaking out the back door, essentially.
That's how it feels. I think you're right.
Rocky could even go as far as to say, I employ 9,227 people in 3 countries. All of those people are going to be out of a job, if this goes the way they want it to go. There's so many potential angles that we could be using to fight this, but you're right, we're not doing jack shit.
I'm telling you, it's if we lose to the FDA, it will be because we allow it to happen. And you hear the way they speak, even from Marco Rubio, and I can't blame everything that's said. I'm glad that we have him at least as a lobbyist of some kind. But realistically, let's think about it. Premium cigars is not. If J.C. Newman's cigar factory were to shut down, it wouldn't affect necessarily his campaign. He's got, there's a crisis in Venezuela and child tax credit. There's other issues he's addressing as a senator. He can't just focus on premium cigars. And it also bothers me that if he's, quote, fighting for premium cigars, it would be nice to see him smoking one once in a while, saying, hey, I really do believe in this cause. Here's proof. Arnold Schwarzenegger and some other people smoke cigars, other radio show, Rush Limbaugh, they smoke cigars publicly and show their support. I've never seen Senator Marco Rubio smoke a cigar. He says that, it's going to shut down the factory, but I don't get the impression he really gives a shit. He may, but I can't see it.
No, and he gives a shit about saving his job.
Yeah. He just cares that there's jobs in Florida which are voters to him. And that's how I get, he's defending something he's defending votes, not necessarily. He doesn't think he gives a damn about the actual cigar industry, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. It's fucked up in a lot of ways, and
it makes me feel bad.
From the looks of it, it's not going to get any better. So,
I just, I mean, is what I'm saying making sense, or am I just making shit up? I'm really trying to.
It makes sense, and in a lot of ways, I wish there were ways that little guys like us could get more involved. But you're up against the government machine, essentially.
Oh, I would love to talk to that staff. I would love to have the FDA in a room and pull up their own reports I would love to talk to them and just use. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not an FDA rep. I don't work in the cigar industry professionally. But just logic of it all is all. That's all I can see. Is just like there's this argument, and then there's a counter argument with just logic. That's all I got. And I hope I'm proven wrong because I want to find out if what I'm saying is incorrect. But it just bothers me that we're the ones, the consumers, are going to be the most directly affected either by a job or the cost of these products, the availability of products. We're the ones who are going to be missing out on it, really, because we spend a lot of time and money to support this industry. And now that they're trying to shut us down, all we come up with this stupid half-assed, like, our boxes are going to be covered by labels. That's the least of my problem. If you go in Europe, those cigar boxes that they have are sometimes like 70% covered with pictures of people with lung cancer and black. They display that, and people still buy the boxes of cigars. They don't care.
It's the same shit they're about to start in Canada. With cigarettes, it's going to be like, the box is going to say, this is Johnny B. Good, and he died of lung cancer in 1984. Whatever.
People still buy them because they've been doing that in Europe for a long time with these massive labels, and people still buy the cigars. So I don't think that's going to be the biggest deterrent. I would say with the encouraged costs of the FDA to be able to standardize and regulate the tobacco industry with all the hundreds of thousands of dollars it's going to cost to get a new cigar on the market, and having those cigars that we were paying $6, $7, $8 for are going to be like $15, $16, $18 or more for that same cigar with the same tobacco, because we didn't come up and say, hey, you guys are making a claim. You proved yourselves wrong. What the hell are you still doing here? And that's plain and simple.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's sad.
It is sad.
But anyway, on to better news. New cigar. You mentioned Global Premium Cigars of 1502 a few minutes ago.
I did.
They've expanded their Blue Sapphire line. I've had the original one. Quite good. But it's coming out now in a Lancero.
Ooh.
One of my favorite sizes. Nicaraguan.
Did you say Thiviv?
Probably.
Okay, so we both had a hiccup tonight.
Carlson Tucker.
Carl Tuckerson. Whatever the hell I put there.
I guess I'm developing a lisp. Sizes. Being more sizes.
Fuck me. All right.
What's the little slur in your words at 9 o'clock on a Friday night?
I have had a couple of drinks. Never mind. That's neither here nor there.
And drinks, cigars, whatever. You don't like it, fuck off.
Right. Don't care.
Stay out of my goddamn business.
Yep. But, dude, if there's one thing about it, and you and I have had the chance to meet Enrique. I have. I believe you have too. Because he was at the tweet up. He is a fantastic and cool dude. He is passionate about what he does and how he goes about things, and his cigars are off the chain. In fact, it was the 1502 Ruby Lancero that got me hooked on it, which I bought at the first Chattanooga Tweet Up event. And I have tried about half his line, and all of it's good. I can't think of a bad one that he makes.
Yeah, I've tried. Let's see, the Black Gold, the Ruby, the Emerald.
Was it the XO that you tried?
Yeah, the XO is the expensive one.
Yeah, but dude, it's so good.
But
it is so good.
Alan absolutely adored those.
Yep.
He actually had a signed box of them downstairs at home.
No kidding. That sucks.
So Enrique's got really good stuff. And he also had the balls to be the first one to sue the government, so that's extra points in my book.
That blew my mind compared to, Oliva and Fuentes and all that, he is just a few pennies, and he had the balls to say, hey, you're not allowed to do that. You shouldn't do this. And they could have easily lobbied him out of business, I guess, with all the billions of dollars that the FDA and Big Tobacco have. But he stood up. And, I would like to see Enrique instead of Rocky Patel on the news. And because I'd like to hear because I think he has the sound mind and logic to fight the FDA without saying stupid, superfluous arguments like labels on boxes. I mean, it's going to suck, but that's not the problem. I think Enrique gets it, and I just don't maybe he's not big enough to get on Fox News or something. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are represented by Rocky, and
But you would think he would be like the best
That's hard.
spokesperson because he knows how to market. He's one of the best cigar marketing people out there. So you would think he'd be able to come out and like just blast the FDA with all their fallacies and arguments. And like when I heard that interview, I was like, that's one of the stupidest, lamest arguments, counter arguments I could have heard.
I could be completely off base, but I think Rocky is attempting to use this in some ways to squash some of the little guys that have.
You think he's allowing the FDA to
so
take over just because?
popular.
I mean, if the FDA takes over, it's going to hurt him too. I mean, yes, he has good money, but
not to the extent. I mean, it's going to put the little guys out of business. Rocky, at the very least, has enough money to survive.
But I don't think the little, quote unquote, little guys. So Room 101 and Tatuaje, Pete Johnson, who's growing in popularity, but I don't think they're much of a threat because Rocky has such a diverse portfolio and such a following, whether boutique brands are around or not. I don't think they're like taking business away from him. I think, people who there's like Rocky Patel fans who just that's pretty much all they smoke, or they keep it stocked in the humidor. So he's going to have a following and an income regardless of the boutique brand. So I don't know if allowing the FDA, because if they're going to steamroll all of the premium tobacco, not just the little guys. And yes, the little guys might go, but I don't know. I just don't feel like he's hitting strong enough points to represent us. He has opportunity to, and the little guys, the boutique brands, are going to be the first ones out the door because they can't handle the costs. But I don't know. It wouldn't necessarily surprise me if some of the big guys. I mean, you sent me an article on who was it? One of the big brands sold out. Where did it go? Where did you send it to me? Let's see. I'll look it up. One of the major brands sold out again. I know like CAO sold, and then Tarano. I don't see anything coming from Tarano anymore. I mean, hardly anything.
They literally turned Tarano into a Camacho ripoff, basically.
Oh, that's what it was. Fred.
Yeah, Nomad.
That's, and we've talked about this via text, but I don't know if it's because of his health or because he sees the dark cloud coming, and maybe he's like, look, maybe I should get out of business and sell stock basically while I can. I don't know. I do want to get his take on it, so maybe we should, find a way to get him on just at some point.
If you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, Nomad was bought by Ezra Zion.
That's right.
It actually happened back in September of last year, but apparently Ben and I are miles behind.
I did not see that.
But I also don't recall much publicity about it either way. I had noticed a significant reduction in cigar-related posts on Rui's Twitter. But I didn't put two and two together until I accidentally ran across the press release for the sale.
Yeah, it wasn't really advertised. Maybe he didn't want people to know. I know he's dealing with some health issues right now. So I don't know if that's the case. But you're right. I don't really see. He's advertised a lot more. And that's a good question.
At the end of the day, we'll try to get him on and get his side of it. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I think he'd make a great guest.
And we'll talk about bacon. He seems to like bacon.
He does like bacon. That might have been the contribution to his health.
True.
Sorry, Fred. I don't know if you're going to hear this, but I'm just saying. Bacon is either the source or solution to his problems. I don't know.
I eat a pound of bacon and a gallon of Thunderbird wine a day.
And bread fried in fatback.
You knew where I was going.
I know. That's one of my favorite clips from Lewis Black. Yeah. This guy lived at like 114 years old in New York or something. He used to drink a gallon of Thunderbird wine a week and bread fried in fatback. And when they asked him, why don't you use bacon? He says, because bacon's too lean. I was like, wow. God
You know,
damn.
it's like, if the doctor made him become a vegetarian, he'd die the next day.
He died the next day. It's because he drinks so bad and he's so unhealthy why he lives. So I think maybe,
He basically pickled himself.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe Fred's going for that. I don't know. He's going to self-mummify.
Yeah, maybe we're all going the wrong way.
I guess
And
so.
bacon and cheap wine from now on.
Yeah, reduce your stress in your life, and maybe he forgets to die. I don't know. He's too drunk and distracted. But yeah, that's. I do want to get Fred's take on that because I would like to hear if he wants to reveal. Maybe he doesn't want to explain why. I don't know, but I would be curious as to kind of see what he would consider because he didn't advertise it, so maybe he doesn't want people to know. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll find out one way or the other with our sleuthy private investigator skills.
You mean email?
I was going to stalk it.
Something like that.
Whatever. Stalk the social media. That's how the children do it.
Ooh. Yep.
Speaking of social media.
Yep.
Instagram, Twitter, @CigarTipster on both. Facebook.com/CigarTipster. We've gotten a little more active on Instagram here in the last couple of weeks while Ben's working on the website.
Why? How did you get more active on Instagram, Mark? What happened?
Well, apparently we have people who follow us now. And push the little heart button, so they love us.
Did you gain more followers? How did you expand your fan base?
I don't know. Apparently, I paid people. All I can assign. Like I'm waiting for that. Waiting for my phone to ding and say X amount of dollars has been removed from your checking account.
No. So anyone out there's listening, I kind of gave Mark a small heart attack, and I was waiting for your reaction, Mark, because I thought it was hilarious. I logged into Cigar Tipster on Instagram, and I just, so I just started following random people, and then all of a sudden, Mark texts me and says, "Hey, why do I have 80 likes yesterday? Like I almost got a boner." I couldn't. I was like, I was waiting for your reaction. Oh, it was worth it.
Like half the time I was like, happy if we got like 5 likes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was in the middle of something at work. I was having a meeting with somebody. And
does your phone ding every time you get a like or something like that?
No, it doesn't ding, but it lights up. And every time it lights up, it would catch my attention. And I would keep looking down, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, hang on a second, I think something's wrong. And then I look at it, and it's all Instagram shit.
Like 45 people like this post, like this post. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, at that point in time, we hadn't even posted much lately. So they were going back and liking all the old stuff. And I was like, what? And I literally texted you and I said, did you pay someone to do this?
No, I just started following people, and all of a sudden there's like they start. I guess people start browsing our old shit, like, oh, it's Cigar Tipster. They're like, I like that. I took photos. Like screenshots of like 2 or 3 pages of likes within the last like 6 hours. It was just like. What the fuck am I famous now?
Yeah, because it's like I said, I was in a meeting and literally had to turn my phone upside down so I'd quit fucking looking at it.
So it flashes like a little camera flash?
Not a camera flash. The screen lights up and you can see the Instagram logo if you're looking at the right angle. But literally every time they hit the heart button, it would pop up. So it popped up
phone's
like
going fucking crazy
times. Yeah. And I'm sitting here trying to have a somewhat serious conversation.
You can't.
And I'm ADD anyway, so anything flashing is gonna like divert my attention straight off the bat just because that's how I am.
Yeah.
Shiny red ball.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, it's flashing.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, seriously, what the fuck is happening?
It's like, dude, we're gonna be on TV.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like for the first time in my life, I felt cool.
People like me now. This is more friends than I'm used to having. Typically, I'm like 2 or 3.
Yeah, and That's when I haven't pissed anybody off, that I have 2 or 3.
Yeah. Oh man, I thought it was funny. Your reaction was funny, and I knew you weren't
Yeah,
going to be pissed. I just knew you were just going to like. I was hoping it would disrupt something you were doing the day. Just like, what the hell is it? Oh my god, we're famous now.
yeah. You literally at some point you text back and you're like, I was waiting for this.
I did. I really, because I saw the post. I can log and see. And it was just like 2.5 screenshot pages, like this post from like 2 years ago. I'm like, this, what the hell? We're not. Nobody knows us, and all of a sudden,
Ding ding ding.
ding, ding, ding.
Oh
Oh,
Lord. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I just
yeah,
it's like damn. Well, I got and I was like, okay, it's the Cigar Tipsters one. It's not my personal Instagram, so I'm like, what
yeah,
the fuck?
yeah. I told you when I told you I was going to do the website. I figured, look, if we're going to revamp the website, we got to expand the fan base a little bit, and that's what got me thinking. So I was just. I have an hour drive each way from home to work, and so I figured, oh, what the hell? So I just start following anybody, anything that's cigar related or whatever, and they just follow back. So I'm trying to increase that.
To
Just
Ben's insurance company, he did not just admit to liking Instagram while going down the road.
I did not. No, that was that.
That was
Well,
his
I pull
twin
over
brother
on the side of the
Ethan
road
did.
and then liked everything, and then got back on the interstate. That's what happened.
Just wanted to clarify that. For
Yeah,
legal
yeah.
purposes.
No, I would never drive and Instagram. That doesn't make sense. But I would,
They used to have they used to have and I think they had to take it down, but they used to have a Snapchat filter that, as you're driving, it would use the GPS chip to put a little sticker on there that says how fast you were going when you took the picture.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Jesus.
that.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was causing wrecks and whatnot, as you might imagine.
yeah. Speaking of which, did you see that article where there was a family of like 4 or 5, and Tesla had their car's autopilot on, and it was radar guiding the car in front of it, and so the car in front was getting on the off ramp and didn't put its blinker on, and because Tesla is programmed to read the blinker of a car to know whether it's moving or not, when the car went off the off ramp, the Tesla car followed and didn't switch lanes fast enough, and it crashed, and everyone in the car died.
That's going to be bad publicity.
That is going to be bad. I don't really like
Publicity.
Elon. I really don't.
He
I don't.
comes across as a complete prick.
He does come across as a douchebag. I was reading a little bit about on Flipboard. I mean, it's cool that, but I was reading about Elon, like a day in the life of Elon Musk. Like he's in the factory 60 something hours a day. He never goes on vacation. He hasn't accepted a paycheck from Tesla until his company is worth 100 billion, and it's only worth like 25 now. So he's broke. He has no money. He just owns like $70 million of real estate in Los Angeles or shit like that. Other than that, the man is poor. He has no, and he's constantly working. I don't want to hear a single woe from anyone out there with a B on their checking account. I don't give a shit what your problem is.
No.
You don't have the right to. Once you make like over $1 billion, you're worth that. You don't have the right to complain about a thing. Nothing. There's nothing you can say that your life is inconvenienced.
At that point, you literally never have to work again.
Yeah.
Yes, you might have to adjust your lifestyle, but you would never have to work again. So what the fuck do you have to complain?
I don't know what you would complain, but there's nothing. I don't care what your issue is, because you are at a point where you can pay off and fix just about anything.
Yeah, all the cocaine and hookers you want.
Yeah, as long as you're not like Bernie Madoff and do it illegally. But if you're legally and rightfully worth that much, like Steve Jobs was a multi-billionaire, but he only accepted like a $1 paycheck from Apple because everything was in Apple's name.
Let's be real. I mean, when you've got that kind of money, you could walk out into the middle of the street, stop traffic, drop your pants, and take a shit.
I knew you were going to say that, but yes, you can do that and get away with it because you're in that zone.
Someone will go out there and scoop up your shit and put it in a bag
with enough money.
and
Yes,
try to sell it on eBay.
Yes, yeah,
because that was Steve Jobs' shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think he's kind of a douche. Jeff Bezos, also another douchebag.
Yeah, he had that whole cheating on his wife thing.
What the fuck, man? You don't need to do that. I mean, you don't need to do it whether you're poor or rich, but
Yeah, I mean, first of all, don't cheat. That's just being an asshole.
that's being an asshole to begin with.
I mean, especially when you've got what, $50 bajillion.
Yeah, what the fuck else?
I mean, if you hate each other that much, just get a divorce, be single, and fuck whoever you want at that point.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, even if Jeff Bezos loses half, even 50%, he's still a multi-billionaire, even if he lost half his money. So don't.
Half of a fuck ton is still a fuck ton.
Yeah. So I don't understand. Tiger did that same shit. I don't know why he didn't have to. First off, his wife was gorgeous as hell, and
also a little crazy.
Well, sure. Well, then, like, say, get a divorce, or I mean, if you're smart at all, he has a prenup with him saying, "Listen, I'm worth billions of dollars. I'd rather you not try to marry me." Just I mean, do something of that nature if you're worth that much.
I mean,
but I don't really fucking hear it.
I have like $27 to my name, and I would still
Sweet.
get a prenup agreement.
That's my 27.
Yes, it's my goddamn $27.
I had to talk to customers for that money, and you're not going to take that away from me.
No. I will go to the grave with that $27.
That's right.
Before you get it.
That's right. So the whore. Definitely
I'm just assuming by that point we're in the name calling stage. So
who are they going to report to?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody.
Fuck out of my ramshackle $500 a month apartment that I can't afford.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hear that shit. Oh, he works so hard, doesn't take vacation. Fuck you. I don't care. You don't have to go on vacation. You can bring like the island of. You can bring a luxury island to you. They'll ship it to you if you want. With that kind of cash. So fuck you.
Even if he's on the factory floor, what the fuck is he really doing other than pointing at people and going, "Hey, you"?
Well, so what the employees were saying is that he's actually like micromanages. Like he's they say he's like cool, but he micromanages. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. If he chooses not to take vacation, that's his fucking problem. I would, if I was worth 25, I'd sell the company.
In a situation like that, you're just saying that you don't trust anybody. You're like, I can't leave for 5 minutes because I don't trust you to do what you're supposed to do, basically.
Well, then, honestly, that's not good leadership. You should be in a position where, your company should be running and you should be able to trust people to run your company without you if you have to micromanage, you're right. That is a lack of trust and it's not necessary.
Speaking of Elon Musk, when SpaceX finally does its thing and they're like, okay, we're going to send people to Mars. I hope Elon Musk goes on the first trip just so he gets off the fucking planet.
I think, and I was reading about this, I think that what he's trying to do is, I guess I don't know if he's cooperating with NASA or something to that effect. He's trying to send robots to Mars to build a colony with the materials on Mars that gives us somewhere, like when we arrive there, there's a base for us to go to. So he's sending, like rovers and whatnot to collect materials and like 3D print stuff, I don't know, in like little pods and install all of that. I'm like, brother, we don't. First off, even if there was a city on Mars, how the hell are we going to? I mean, we don't have $2 billion per flight per person to get there. So
First of all, we barely made it to the moon and back.
Barely, yeah.
If you believe it happened, which I for one do. I mean,
I don't. That doesn't make sense to lie.
Do I?
No.
I'll put it this way: if we didn't make it to the moon because it was fake, somebody would have said something by now. Nobody's that good at keeping a fucking secret. But regardless, we could barely make that little round trip. And Mars is like, what is it, 6 or 7 fucking months worth of flight time?
Just to get there? Oh, my God.
It might even be like 9 months. I'm not a nerd for that kind of stuff.
Look, if we can't even make it on this planet, which has a sustainable atmosphere that, I don't know why we'd go to Mars. So if you go to Mars and there is even as much as a pinhole of air in anything that's surrounding you, it's all over. It's done. So I don't trust that. He needs to calm the fuck down and relax.
You're one slip with a fork away from just literally getting sucked out into space.
I don't trust that. I really don't. Not at all. So I don't know. I will be going there in my lifetime, so I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be dead. We're all going to be dead before it happens. So what's the fucking point?
I don't know.
They say we're fucking up the planet for the next generation, but I'll be dead. So what do I care?
Yeah.
Let them
Yeah.
deal with it.
I mean, it sucks. I don't want to
Assholes.
leave a fucked up planet, but
Oh, I don't care. Fuck them. We've discussed my thoughts on children in the past.
Without them, especially anybody who's worked in retail, if there are no children in your workplace, you are better off.
True. Yeah, I believe that anyone who has worked retail for so much as one day of your life, understands the feeling.
Never.
And
don't do it.
true unadulterated retail, I only did it for like 3 months, but that's enough.
Yeah. Nope. That's enough. Enough. Yeah.
Like department store retail. Now, my parents owned a restaurant when I was a kid, but that's different. But either way, fuck the children, and not in the Catholic priest kind of way. Just
no, this is definitely like go away kind of, not diddly.
It's like the mid '90s Power Rangers movie where the bad guy was going to walk all the adults off the cliff. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to make the kids walk off the cliff.
I mean, who needs them?
That was the bad guy's name.
They can't even vote. They can't work and get jobs. I don't see the purpose.
All they do is eat shit and sleep.
It's basically Congress.
Which, quite frankly, that's like 87% of what I do.
You just have the ability to, I guess, shit where you want, like, and you have the ability.
Job.
Yeah, that's true.
Semi-functioning member of society.
You're a giant baby, a man-sized baby.
Yes.
And you may or may not wear a diaper. I don't know. That's your affair. It's not mine. But I do want to hear you deny it.
What happens behind the closed door of my bedroom is my business.
Diaper or not.
I have 2 closets. One left, one on the right. If you open up the one on the left, I've got one of those baby changing stations like they have in the Walmart bathroom.
Jesus Christ on a crutch. That's not.
And I just crawl up on there and do what I got to do.
You look at a giant life size, those folding down doors. You land there. Wow. Oh, it's wrong.
I had to soundproof this room because I have roommates, and I don't want a bunch of questions. Stay out of my business.
Why is there? Who's crying next to? I don't know what you're talking about, and quite frankly, it's none of your damn business.
Well, I did get the weird question of why is the Amazon Prime guy bringing like 50 pounds of diapers per week, but
that's no one's concern but my own and the drone that brings it. That's it. The only people that need to know.
Just drop those hoagies on the front lawn and get the fuck out.
And peace. Yep, that's what I do with it is my own affair. That's it.
Did you know that you can get like about 135 wet wipes at Walmart for the fine price of $3?
That's an unusual statistic to know. I don't know what to do with that information. Am I supposed to act on that or not?
I don't know. Wet wipes are useful.
I mean, you've got the baby changing station, so maybe you're kind of an expert. I don't know. I'm not here to judge.
Pardon me for trying to get the listeners a bargain. Because for some godforsaken reason we're still recording this. I don't know.
I want to have the listeners. So we're talking about 2 bargains here. One is cigars under $7, and the other is diapers. So, bargain's a bargain. Doesn't matter.
We'll put a poll on Twitter. Which one means more to you? Diapers or cigars? Wet wipes. In all fairness,
we'll put that as a third and see what people say. We might be surprised.
The Dollar General here, closest to my house, they have this aisle that's everything on that aisle is $1, kind of like the Dollar Tree, but it's not shitty shit like you get at the Dollar Tree.
Okay.
They have lavender scented toilet paper. Lovely.
Okay.
I've never seen scented toilet paper before. It's just like whatever.
There are people on an assembly line that infuse the toilet paper with that scent, and when you go home and have to explain what you do for a living, I infuse toilet paper with lavender.
Gurkha in their cognac. This
Yeah,
is
I
Charmin
don't give
in
a
their
damn. I know
lavender
they say
scent.
they use like aged Louis the 13th cognac, but I don't. When I want to drink Louis the 13th cognac, I'll save up enough money and get it if I really want to. But leave it like the cigar should stand on its own. If you have to infuse it with shit, and then charge people an outrageous amount of money for it, it's you. I think it's not worth it. I don't care what you infuse it with.
And that, my friend, is how you go from diapers to wet wipes to toilet paper back to cigars.
It's a perfect circle.
It really is. And I don't know any possible better way to end it. So this has been the Cigar Testers Podcast. Good night.
Good night.